Hello, viewers. Here's the Mindful Man reading another live stream with Paul G. Brett's book, The Clinic. I'm a little bit lost where I am, so I'm just going to lead different sections. The Prime Minister's invitation to move to this diocese had come as a surprise to me, though I have to admit that I was deeply satisfied by it. I'd been a bishop long after all. I could do a good stint distance from the dining room. What they must have eaten in those days I can't imagine. It certainly won't have been hot. The major part of the palace had been turned into a museum and the grounds were open to the public. This was not an entirely satisfactory arrangement, however, as we soon discovered. Tourists regularly peered over the wall into our private area, and the girls didn't feel safe as they sat around the pool in the sun in next to nothing. In the 70s, the West Wing had been converted into a residence for the bishop, and just before we arrived, another part had become the new diocesan office. A disastrous fire had destroyed the old office, an ugly Victorian structure in the centre of the town, and this had seemed the best solution. I must say they reached this conclusion and did the work very quickly, to get it done before anyone could object, I suppose. We had little real privacy, but there we were. I had to think of it as a privilege to live in such an historic place. The cellars were of special interest to me. They stretched for some distance under the oldest part of the building, rather like a crypt, and divided into a series of cavernous alcoves. The whole place was full of antiquated farm implements, broken furniture, and packing cases, and the general detritus of the years. It didn't take me long to realize that there would be plenty of room for my wine. Almost the first thing I did on moving in was to get my racks properly fixed to the walls, and within a fortnight, bottles were settling in to their new home in the first alcove, to the left of the steps leading down from the kitchen. I had a good collection of claret from the left bank of the Gironde. There was Chateau Lafite Rothschild and Chateau Pichon and Chateau Latour next to it, and a great joy, a case of Chateau Margaux of a particular fine vintage from further down the estuary. I also had some wonderful Saint Emilion and Pomerol from the other side of Bordeaux, and I still had 4 bottles of the old chapter. I'm just getting used to reading it because it's not my book.